All-Stars have come to Sin City for their share of the $300,000 purse. From the MGM Grand, the 6th U.S. Open is next on Speed. With all the glitz, glamour, and pageantry that Las Vegas has to offer, just off the Las Vegas Strip, it's the 6th Maxxis U.S. Open. Hi everybody, I'm Robbie Floyd alongside Davey Coombs here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This is the richest motorcycle race in the world. $300,000 purse, $100,000 goes to the winner of our 250cc class. And Davey, we're covering 125s and 250s, but tell me about the 250s. It's a pretty stacked class.
It's completely stacked. All the best riders in the world are here, but everyone's talking about Chad Reed and Ricky Carmichael. Right there you have the World Supercross champion, the U.S. Supercross champion, and right now, all of the money seems to be going on Chad Reed, but he needs to take a lesson from Ricky Carmichael. Last year, we all thought Ricky was going to win. For the first night, he went out, had a big lead, ends up falling over on a hay bale, and just like that, he was out $100,000.
Now, this U.S. Open is known to be the underdogs race. We've seen guys like Jeff Emmick, Damon Huffman take the championship. Who's the next guy? Is it Nick Way?
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of people are talking about Nick Way today. He's riding his new factory Suzuki, looks really comfortable, and I know he's been getting a lot of help up in Michigan from Jeff Stan, but I'll tell you what, Stan's also been working with Ernesto Fonseca. Don't forget about that name. Ernie is Ricky Carmichael's Honda teammate, and he's learned some stuff from Ricky, including the fact that he needs to get himself a trainer. So Ernesto's been training hard, and you can never count out Mike LaRocco, last year's big winner.
Without a doubt, Mike LaRocco is going to be the guy to look for. This is last year's winner. Nobody gave him a shot, and our Cameron Steele was able to talk to him earlier.
Well, guys, the big number 5 means Iron Mike LaRocco, but right now I'm not sure if I'm going to call him Iron Mike. He's rocking a new look. Last year, you're the underdog coming in. This year, 3-1. Disrespect. Does it put more pressure on you? It doesn't look like it. He's wearing a wig, by the way. This just isn't off-season growth.
No, actually, it doesn't really bother me at all. I actually just want to come out there and try and put down some fast times and try to have the luck I had last year. And that's my plan. I just go out there and have some fun.
Your times are good in practice. This isn't a normal Supercross. The track's a little bit tighter, and you know, people had voted in the past in some magazine they didn't want to wrestle Mike LaRocco. You're one of the tough guys in the sport. Does this track favor you? I mean, if you get a bad start, you got to bang your way through.
Yeah, it's definitely tight and calls for some aggressive riding if need be. But I think it's more importantly is the start, because even if you ride aggressive, you're wasting your time. You got to get out there and make things happen early.
They got Reedy at even money, and they got Ricky just about there. What do you have to say to those guys? What about the people that make the odds?
Well, here's the thing. People can put money on me and make money. They can't do nothing with those guys, so I got to look at it that way, right?
Perfect. Iron Mike, ready to go. I'm ready to go. We need to get back to the business. Back up to you guys.
Well, Davey, we were expecting the big names in the 250 class. We have them, but also in the 125 class, a full-blown factory effort here at the MGM Grand with none other than number 3 on a Yamaha, Mike Brown, making his debut.
Yeah, and everyone was watching Mike Brown today. He's a veteran, and he looked really fast riding for his new team. I tell you what, if he's looking for competition, all he has to do is look right across the Yamaha of Troy pits, because Brock Sellards also put in some fast laps. And also, don't count out Andrew Short of the Suzuki team. Last time Andy Short was in Las Vegas, he won himself his first Supercross, 125 East-West Challenge. He knows how to win in this town.
The field is set. We have the rookies, we have the veterans, but first, we got to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way they have the track set up here in the MGM Grand, it's going to be whoever the most aggressive rider is. You can see a look at it right there as we take a look at the track map. They tried to make this thing look as much like a real Supercross as they could. I think they did a fantastic job. You see 6 lanes there, so it's really crowded when you're out on the main floor. And then you go in the back into the cavernous, the tunnels, and the things they have, kind of a nod to some of the European Supercross races. But it's a very complicated track. When it comes down to it, Robbie, it's going to be the most aggressive guy, the most intense riding, and who knows, maybe even just the most brutal guy. You're going to have to be a bully out there to get to the front of the pack.
What did I say, Rubbins racing? Well, you've got to make it to the final, and to do so in the 125s and 250s, it's either the heat or LCQ. Top 5 transfer from the heat, top 2 from the LCQ. Look at that. $100,000 goes to our winner. And the first time we see a 125 pro class here, the big boys.
Exactly, and this is the first time you've seen those fights on the inside. The new Suzuki 4-strokes, first time in the 125 class going the inside, but look at that, no surprise there. Kelly Smith out front.
Kelly Smith, Brock Hepler, number 60 on the inside, and Andrew Short goes down, one of our favorites. Has to hurry up, he's going to make it into the final with the heat race.
Well, I tell you, I'm not surprised to see Kelly Smith out front. Last year he rode the same bike, the YZ250F, for a privateer team, and now Yamaha of Troy picked him up. And you know what? With or without the factory support, he's the best starter in Supercross, showing it right here.
The Boniface mixing it up there right around the number 3 spot. Brock Hepler, the rookie, his first indoor 125cc race. And Davey, let's take a look at that start again, because I think Hepler might have had a little something to do with, you know, our number 32 going down, Andrew Short.
But see Smith sweep in from the outside, right in the middle of the pack here. See number 32, him and Hepler kind of get hooked a little bit, takes him outside, and down goes Andrew Short.
All right, so the rookie already banging bars, takes out one of the established veterans. Hepler looks good, and look at the 61 now in the fray. Troy Adams, Roosevelt, Florida. Where did he come from? And he says, here's how it's supposed to be done.
No sooner did you say he's a rookie than he gets taken out like a rookie. Right there, Troy Adams came in, and Hepler kind of gave up the inside. You see him have a little bit of trouble starting that 4-stroke.
Reminiscent of Ernesto Fonseca back in the day when the Yamaha first came out in the 125 class.
Exactly. Watch this. There's Hepler on the outside, and you know what? There was nothing he could do there. It's tight out there in the back when they come out in the parking lot. Adams came in like a veteran, dropped him like a rookie, and hey, like I said at the beginning of the show, you're going to have to do some banging to win.
All right, Kelly Smith out in front. He took the win. Boniface, Michael Blows, Brock Hepler, Troy Adams, they will transfer directly into the final. So that's going to be some top names in the LCQ. All right, heat number 2, same format, top 5 transfer, and it's Steve Mertens out in front.
Yeah, another privateer on that 4-stroke Yamaha, and this one remains a privateer. Steve Mertens had some good rides last year, and you can see some of the Yamaha of Troy guys coming up behind him. Then, of course, it's Brock Sellards and Mike Brown, probably the 2 biggest veterans in 125 Supercross right now.
Chris Gosselaar, number 35. As we take a look early on, look at these riders get together on the inside. A little bit of a log jam, including your favorite, Mike Brown, number 3, and Josh Hansen, his teammate, number 68. Now, this same section we saw earlier with Hepler, it was another Brock making it by, but look what Brownie does, the little goose. Hangs him up there to dry.
I thought Goose would have seen that coming, especially with Mike Brown, because as we know, he's no angel.
All right, Steve Mertens on the inside, 54, but he gets past. Brock Sellards now in the lead, top 5, transfer to the final.
Sellards, just a nice inside-out pass. Very clean pass right there. And I don't know that we're going to see a lot of that, but check this out. This is like a textbook pass. He plays the inside this time, puts himself on the outside, lets Mertens get going, and then right here, slingshot around the outside. I don't think Steve knew what he was going to do, and that's just a really smart move by a Supercross veteran.
He did it the hard way, passed on the outside. Mertens was trying to hug the inside. Sometimes being a little too cautious is going to hurt you. And yeah, Sellards starting to pull away. Now on the inside, Brownie's going to park you for sure.
That is the difference between the way Sellards will go around you and the way Mike Brown will go around you. And you see Goose almost getting hooked up with the back of Steve Mertens there. And check this out, man. You know,
hello.
Yeah, there's just, he's not denying that. You know, Mike Brown is always going to do that to you. That's his thing. And, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but it works for Brown, and he's been pretty successful with it.
Well, Brock Sellards takes the win. Let's take a look back at Eric Nye on the outside and Josh Hansen on the inside, battling Yamahas. And I'd say Nye came out on the worst end of this deal.
And Hansen's been a teammate of Mike Brown for about 10 minutes, and already he's learning how to ride like him.
Okay, Sellards, Brown, Gosselaar, Mills, and Weigandt will transfer. Cameron Steele with Brock Sellards.
What about the 125 class? I mean, it seemed like it was easy work for you. Is the track working great with the 4-stroke right now?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's on a 4-stroke here, so it just this track suits me. I've been working for it, and I feel ready out there.
I see your shoulder leaning. Go, go, go.
He's riding about the 125 and 250cc class, Davey. The 125 LCQ with Steve Mertens out in front again.
Mertens, another good start. You can see Andrew Short right there in third. Trying inside line there, moves up. He's got to get in the top 2 to qual. Whoa!
Riders down. It looked like Jonathan Ship on the Kawasaki. Who was the Yamaha?
It was Josh Hansen, and man, he hit the eject button. Check this out. Shimp decides not to jump. Right there, you see Hansen's already fully committed. Ejects off the side of the jump, and I tell you what, he is lucky that didn't happen a little later in the race. Someone would have been coming the other direction right there.
Oh, thank goodness for tough blocks, but man, look at the contorted body going into those rockers.
It looked like he got hit by a linebacker.
All right, Steve Mertens out in front. It's your battle for the lead right now. Look at this 32, though. Andrew Short trying to make a pass on the outside. Can he hold it?
Well, it's a good thing he got by because Greg Schnell is coming up behind him fast. And right there, you have a couple of past Supercross winners in Schnell and Short. They want to get in this main event, but so does Mertens. He's one of the hardest charging privateers. Check this move out. Andrew Short just ducking on the inside of Steve Mertens there. Robbie, if he doesn't duck inside a little earlier, he's going to clip the side of that wall, and that would be it for him. But Short comes through, a little ways to go, and there's the checkered flag.
Short takes the win. Mertens takes second. He's a happy man. Greg Schnell, unfortunately, is going to finish third. Not going to make it tonight's show. Hey, it's always tomorrow. The Rock, Mike LaRocco. He'll attempt to qualify for the 250 main when we come back. U.S. Open. Great racing still ahead, but as always, we have a little freestyle action. Some of the biggest names in freestyle motocross are here putting on a show for the crowd. Mike Jones, that's Mad Mike Jones to everybody else. Trevor from Wherever Vines, Darren Conant, and Dan Pastor. Some big names here checking them out, Davey.
Yeah, you know Ricky's saying to Reed right now, I can't do that. I could do that. I couldn't do that.
Well, that guy, Darren Conant, had the biggest whip. I don't think Ricky, Reed, or any of them could best that. All right, heat race number 1, Ricky Carmichael out in front. The Subway Racing Honda of Joe Aloff back in the number 2 spot, and the Factory Suzuki. Is that Nick Way trying to stick his nose in there?
That's Nick Way, but check out David Vuillemin, the Cobra. Really looking forward to this race. I know he's been doing a lot of work with David Bailey. He didn't have the kind of summer he wanted, but tell you what, it's a good place to get on track. Here's another look at the hole shot. Aloff with the hole shot, but look at Ricky coming along the inside, hitting those jumps smooth as glass, and he just came off the Motocross Des Nations, but as you can see, Ricky not taking too long to get his Supercross game right back on par.
And David Vuillemin playing it safe, hugging the outside, just trying to keep it on 2 wheels. It was Ricky Carmichael's race, though. He takes the win. Vuillemin, Way, Ramsey, and Clark. Everyone else has to ride the LCQ. And Cameron Steele with Ricky Carmichael.
Supercross champ, motocross champ, winner of the individual title at the Motocross Des Nations, and you're the underdog here in Vegas. What's up with that, Ricky?
You know, I didn't have a stellar second part of the season Supercross last year, and I'm sure that's why. But it's a nice place to be, you know. See how everybody can handle the pressure, you know. I'm having fun, man. This whole year has been really, really fun. A lot of traveling, you know, the last couple months, but I'm just glad to be in Vegas, man. I love it here. The fans are awesome this weekend, and we're going to give it all we can.
Back to 250 qualifying heat race number 2. Look at that, the single digit. Grant Langston, number 8, fresh off his 125 national championship.
So right there, he gave up the inside to Ernesto Fonseca, and Ernie goes by. And then right there, Chad Reed does likewise to Mike LaRocco. A little less aggressive, I think, right now than what we saw in the 125 class earlier. But these guys are Supercross veterans. And I tell you what, kind of a big surprise that Langston got that good of a start. He's just moving up to the KTM 250 Supercross program after winning that 125 outdoor national title, and hasn't had a lot of success on that KTM 250 SX. Right here, you see Reed coming down the inside, takes a look over. Usually you do that over big jumps, not through the whoops.
Well, except for Chad Reed. He is so fast in that whoop section. He proved that he was the fastest in all the whoop sections of the last 6 Supercross races. And look at this, Grant Langston takes the outside line. We've already noticed that's the wrong thing to do if somebody's on your inside.
Oh, for sure, no doubt. But I tell you what, still impressed that Langston's fully committed to moving up the 250 program. But you can see right now, between guys like Fonseca and Chad Reed here, just out motor him down through the whoops. He's got some stuff to learn. He can get it done outdoors, but indoors is going to be a different story for Grant.
All right, Fonzie, Ernesto Fonseca set up to the outside. We've got a block pass in the making. Chad Reed hugs the inside, takes over that number 1 position.
I tell you, that YZ250 is so impressive, and Chad Reed just able to get everything out of it. You saw him just rocket out of the tunnel. And right here, coming up on the inside, Fonseca had a chance to get a wheel in there, but Chad held him off, takes a little look over his shoulder, and some pretty close, clean racing so far.
Very reminiscent of Jeremy McGrath right there, just taking a look over, trying to get that intimidation factor. Look at that, he is behind a full bike and a half, but gets great drive coming down that front straightaway, and he's set up on the inside to push everyone wide. That everyone was Ernesto Fonseca.
Excellent work by the cameraman there, and you're right. Every time I see Chad Reed, I think he looks more and more like Jeremy McGrath.
Taking the win was Chad Reed, Fonseca second, LaRocco, Short, and Langston. So Langston puts a KTM into the final.
Well, Chad, you ended up the season with 6 Supercross wins. The last one here in Vegas, it looks like you're ready to keep the freight train rolling.
For sure, Cameron, that's the plan. It's last time we're here, and I had a win. And last U.S. Open this time last year was my first Supercross on a 250, so it's exciting again. You know, we got new parts for the bike and new rules, and we're just working on everything. Everybody at Yamaha, Thor Parts Unlimited, Scott, everyone's working really, really hard, and we're ready to take off where we left off.
Chad Reed did just that. The last chance qualifier to transfer, and right now Jason Thomas and Josh Demuth are those 2 riders, and Demuth sticks a wheel in. And not enough. Look at that, Davey. He wasn't backing off for 1 gate position.
You see Joe Aloff, Isaiah Johnson, Heath Foss will have to wait to the next show, but Thomas and Demuth going to round out that 250 main.
Well, Tag Entertainment, Supercross feature film. They were doing all the work here. Cameron Steele might be in it, but the star will be Elena Austin, and we'll be seeing that at theaters soon. His coverage of the 125cc main event here at the U.S. Open. The field is set, 15 laps with 12 riders. David, it looks like Brock Sellards, your #1 qualifier.
And you see all those Yamaha of Troy guys, Kelly Smith and Mike Brown taking those inside lines. There are people on the second row. It's close quarters here, but I tell you what, the Yamaha of Troy guys lined up on the inside. That's where I would want to be on a start like this.
Listen to that field. A lot of 4-strokes in there. You don't hear many 2-strokes. Who's going to get the start?
It's a short start, so I guarantee you the guy with the reaction time is going to get it, and then you're going to have to hold it on that tight first turn, and there they go. Look at that. Kelly Smith, like we were talking about earlier, best starter at Supercross, and there's Gosselaar on the outside on that new Honda.
The Honda CRF250.
Oh, Brock Sellards and Steve Boniface got tangled up. Sorry, Robbie, that was brutal.
You didn't even have time to spit out who was out in front, and already somebody goes down. 2 riders down, and one of them's your favorite, Brock Sellards.
Yeah, that's, you know what, when you're on a tight track like this, close quarters, that's going to happen. Check it out. There on the inside, you see Sellards, number 18. They just come down on each other, and man, that's it. There's no room, no time. No matter how good your reaction, you're going down if you tangle like that in the air.
Steve Boniface got the worst end of that deal. Doug Bodner taking care of him. The whole Asterisk crew doing a great job. Chris Gosselaar out in front. The debut, he told me he was riding it for 4 days leading into the day.
I tell you what, I was lucky enough to ride that bike. I'm talking about the CRF250R Honda, and man, it's a good bike. And I'm not surprised it only took Gosselaar 4 days to get used to it, because when I rode it, man, I was on the pace. Well, you know, only for a little bit.
On the whose pace? Whose pace are you talking about right now out in front? Chris Gosselaar, the 33 of Kelly Smith on that Boost Mobile Yamaha. Looking good. We expected really Smith to be up there. I really haven't seen much consistency out of Gosselaar up in front, though, this year.
No, not at all. Chris Gosselaar might be the best 125 Supercross rider never to win a main event. It's because he lacks that consistency, and Honda and the AMSOIL people are hoping that he'll be able to put it together this year. And tell you what, he's off to a good start here in Las Vegas.
See the riders tripling into that corner. You're starting to see the multiple lines developing, especially these right-hand turns where it's slippery. You know, you give different lines, like we saw Josh Demuth a while ago. You give multiple lines for passing, and they will take advantage of it.
They sure will. And I tell you what, I'm impressed by the way the track crews approach the track here in the MGM Grand. They're really letting it break down a little bit. You don't see that very often in Supercross. And, oh, Mike Close. Close gets a little close to the side of the track there, and bounced right over to the tough blocks, and a pretty good ride for Michael until that point right there, and he just went right off his line. And again, you don't have a lot of room for mistakes on this track.
We haven't talked much about how deep those whoops are, but next time they come around, just take a little gander. They are very deep, but still Chris Gosselaar out in front. And another surprise, Tim Wygand, the battle for 6th spot right now, battling out with former 125 national champion Mike Brown, and he's giving him a run for his money. Yeah, and you saw right there, Brock Sellards made a little mistake in the corner before them, so Brown, a terrible start compared to what the other 2 Yamaha of Troy guys did. And I take that back. It was Andrew Short who was right in front of him and messed up in the corner, but Brown's got a long way to go. So does Short. If they're going to catch up to Kelly Smith, Chris Gosselaar, and Troy Adams, who's a big surprise right now in 3rd. Yeah, the 61's a blur. He's in the top 3 right now, but here's the race we expected, but not for 4th, 5th, and 6th. We thought both of these guys would be up front, especially after their heat race. Exactly. You know what? Anything can happen here at the MGM Grand. It's a short track, as we saw at the start of these races. Guys falling everywhere. All you want to do is keep moving forward, try to stay out of trouble, and who knows, you might get hooked up with a rider like we see Short right here with Mike Brown. They hook up together, they might be able to push themselves up. And right in front of him, you saw the 4th place. That's Brock Kepler. They're not that far behind the leaders. keeping that pace. It's a 15-lap race, and you know you're going to encounter lap traffic really early, a little less than a 1 minute lap time. If you take a look at our leaderboard, Smith, Adams, second, third battle, and Adams, where in the heck did he come from? The little Triple X rider from Florida. He hasn't really made a name for himself, especially in Supercross.
No, he had some problems last year when he was riding the 125 with low. Mike Brown got a little
close him over the bars.
A little close to the exit right there. But yeah, Troy Adams doesn't have the credentials he has sort of outdoors. People know he can go fast outdoors. This race is a good opportunity for him to show him he can do it indoors as well.
Take a look at Mike Brown. Oh, on the inside, it's Hepler able to triple by, but Short takes over the position, goes for the front tire.
I tell you what, they're both on Suzuki's, but they are not teammates. Brock Hepler riding the full factory Suzuki, but Andrew Short is a MotorWorldRacing.com rider. And here's how that's set up. Hepler seat bounce from the inside, made over the triple, and then Short cuts across the inside, gives him a little look over. Right there, he could have dropped him if he wanted to, but things aren't that bad there. Now, Robbie, earlier talking about deep the whoops are. This was when Bloss went off to the side into the tough blocks, just like that. He ruined a fourth place start. Tough break, but man, this track is full of landmines like that.
There's our leaderboard, and we'll be back with a 125 finish. We are in the middle of our 125 final here at the U.S. Open, MGM Grand Garden Arena. I'm Robbie Floyd, alongside Davey Coombs, and it's been all Chris Gosselaar from the start.
He looks fantastic on this bike. Who knew that kid could ride a four-stroke? I mean, everyone knows he can ride a mini bike. He might be the best mini bike rider in the entire world, but Honda doesn't pay him to ride mini bikes. They pay him to ride the big bikes. They pay him to ride Supercross, and they're getting their money's worth right now. Chris Gosselaar looks really comfortable on that new bike.
And for 4 days on this machine, that's the special part. I think that's the amazing thing. 125 and the 250F, different characteristics. One has a lot more torque, meaning the four-stroke. The 125s are really tight. You got to stay in the RPM range. And we're hearing a lot of four-strokes here.
I tell you what, the way these bikes have evolved and so quickly, you got to be crazy to ride a two-stroke 125, or you got to be a KTM rider.
Yeah.
They're the one brand that doesn't have one yet, but that'll happen in 2005. But yeah, ride a four-stroke against a 125 in this division. It's the way to go. The bikes have come so far so quickly, and I tell you what, all the naysayers who didn't like four-strokes, didn't like thumpers, they're gone. I mean, you can hear in the class that I think there's 3 two-strokes in this 12-man 125 main.
That rider number 61 in the number 2 position, Troy Adams, and a surprise there, he gets by Kelly Smith, who was up in that number 2 spot. Look at this battle for 3rd and 4th. Now it's Andrew Short wants a little piece of the action. Short's
one of the guys on one of those two-strokes. You see him sneaking up on Kelly Smith, and can't say enough about Troy Adams, but we haven't seen him enough. But right now, this is the battle for the last podium spot. Short goes inside, can't make a pass there.
I like that seat bounce move right there. Really didn't lose much. He took a chance and didn't really lose much in this right-hand flat turn. It could get down to this final turn. We've seen a lot of people in qualifying trying to sneak on the inside.
Well, Andrew Short certainly knows that line here. We saw him pass Brock Hepler, and there you see the gap they have on 2nd place coming down through the whoops. The last time Short on the gas, but Smith able to hold him off. Now he's going to swing to the outside. Seen some real creative passes here tonight, but Smith holds that line. With Little outside, they almost tangle.
It's going to be a drag race down this front straightaway. You see Smith take the outside line. Only a couple of turns remain for Chris Gosselaar. We're on the last lap of the 125 final here. And there you go. That's the inside move. We knew it was coming. Just win.
But then he didn't make it stick, and here Gosselaar's going to take the win, but Short had him, but he didn't make it stick. Now here comes to the last turn. He's going to try the inside out, swings around, and Andrew Short's just run out of time.
So congratulations to Chris Gosselaar, and we'll hear from him when we come back. Is over with here at the U.S. Open. Congratulations to Chris Gosselaar on that Amsoil Honda, and he's with Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, his first win ever in American Supercross, Little Goose, Chris Gosselaar. This has got to be so exciting for you, but a little bittersweet because you haven't won the whole event until you race tomorrow night.
Yeah, I know. I'm just really happy tonight to get out front on my brand new CRF250. That thing's awesome. I mean, I couldn't have done it without that bike and everybody behind me. I mean, Dan and Hoppo have been working night and day on that thing, and Show and Mike and Kaipo, they went testing with me last week, and we got the suspension perfect. So I like to thank everybody, my mechanic, just the whole team, Ziggy, everybody, thank you very much.
For people have been saying all last season they were expecting you to win a main event. Is it the four-stroke? Does it adapt to your riding style better? Is it easier for you to ride?
Man, it's really easy. I suggest everybody out there go get a Honda four-stroke because that would be the difference right there.
Just like the PR department told you to say. Well, Troy Adams, a great finish. He finished in the number 2 spot. And Kelly Smith, he finished 3rd. As you see our final results, and Cameron's with Kelly now.
A new ride, but you continue with the whole shots. Kelly, obviously the whole shot master, but a win in the heat. Everybody thought maybe a win in the main. What happened?
I just got tight. I got a little tight in the heat, but I had a nice lead, so I was feeling a little more comfortable. And I was pushing at the beginning, trying to catch Chris, and I don't know, I just got a little tight, arms pumped up, and that was kind of the end of me. But I don't know, I made sure I held her strong at the end there to save 3rd and keep her up on the podium and just keep in the points. So tomorrow I hope I can come out and win this thing, and maybe the tables will turn and I can get some luck and some points and make it happen.
It's not over till the second night of racing. What about the rubbing with Andrew Short? I mean, that 3rd place position is important because you combine both nights of racing.
Yeah, I knew he was there, and I knew he was going to really be going for it. So, you know, I was holding my own. I had to make sure I kept in front of him and get those valuable points.
Great job, Kelly. We're looking forward to night 2.
Thanks a lot.
We will see Kelly Smith very soon. The 2004 Supercross Series starts in Anaheim, California. 15 rounds, all being promoted by Clear Channel Motorsports, except for the Daytona round. So mark your calendar for the Supercross near you. Let's go back down to Cameron Steele.
Well, a night of firsts, a first-time winner, and a first-time podium for Troy Adams, Team Moto XXX. This has got to be exhilarating for you.
I don't know what to think. I'm speechless up here when they interviewed me. I don't know what to say. I've never done this, and it's definitely a good feeling. I want it to happen more and more.
Well, you're definitely excited. The race, let's talk about the track. I mean, I think there's a lot of people surprised that you caught Kelly Smith and passed him.
Yeah, I think one of my strong points were the whoops, and I've trained really hard. My whoops were my downfall last year, and I definitely wanted to work on them. I think I got them down. I think I got them figured out. So, and that's what makes all the race.
You're going to night 2, setting in 2nd place. You are now the hunter, looking for the championship here in Vegas.
That's it. It's good to be in that position.
Great job. Congratulations.
All right, thanks a lot.
Boy, Davey, Troy Adams, all smiles there, huh?
Good things going to happen to that kid in the future.
Not only the big bikes, the little bikes are in action here at the U.S. Open. Each one of these little KTM riders qualified at a Supercross. They won their respective rounds in a good battle here this weekend with the 3 and the 12. Number 12 of Cole Pritchard, the number 3 of Jesse Nelson.
Well, it's not exactly Carmichael versus Reed, but you know what? Someday it will be with these kids. They had 2 shows to show their stuff, and right there you see the checkered flag for number 9, Chase Owen.
Chase Owen's out of Charleston, Illinois. He won the Indianapolis event. And you see the final result. It's kind of hard to say they're future stars because they're current stars, Davey Coombs. And they get to rub elbows with the big boys here. All the VIPs are in the house, and when we come back, the 250cc final, RC, Chad Reed, Mike LaRocco, the big names are set when we come back. Bobby Floyd along with Davey Coombs, and there's the man himself, James Bubba Stewart. When's he going to be making it to the big show in the 250s, Davey?
I don't know. A lot of talk about that. I'm here not till 2005. As you can see, he has the best seat in the house for this 250 main event here at the MGM Grand.
Well, you take a look at our top qualifiers. Ricky Carmichael, he has the number 1 gate position. We'll see where he picks. Everybody else qualifies just a little bit behind. Finishing was Josh Demas. He took that 12th and final transfer spot.
That's going to put him on the 2nd row, so I wouldn't bet on Josh Demas to get the whole shot, but there you see Carmichael on the inside, Reed's right next to him. Those are the dominant favorites as the gate drops. And it's Vuillemin.
Vuillemin on the blue Yamaha 24, Ernesto Fonseca on the factory Honda, 1 and 2, Carmichael on the inside.
I did not expect Vuillemin to get out of the gate so well. David was kind of there's Carmichael, must have my Fonseca, but Vuillemin was really not showing a lot of speed in practice and qualifying. So first big surprise at the main event comes right off the start.
Well, the Sting of the Cobra has him out in front. Carmichael number 4 in 2nd, Fonseca 3rd, number 22 in 4th, that's Chad Reed. But surprise here, David Vuillemin. You talked about how he's been training with David Bailey. Must have been practicing those starts this past week because he got a great home shot there.
Yeah, David was riding that YZ 450 at some of the Nationals. It just didn't have a very good summer, kind of like Chad Reed. But looks like he's glad to be back in Supercross. And speaking of Reed, right there he is in 4th. Before he can get to Carmichael, he's got to get around Carmichael's teammate, Ernesto.
Taking the inside line, you see Ricky Carmichael being very defensive. That time, it looks like they want to go outside to get that momentum and drive, but they just don't want to set themselves up for a log pass.
No, not at all. If you find yourself on the outside here, you blink your eyes, you might find yourself back in 6th place.
All right, here's Chad Reed's favorite part of the track, the whoop section, but Ernesto Fonseca doing well. Right now you have Yamaha with 2 Hondas in the middle. Yamaha and there goes another Honda. Mike LaRocco moves into 5th spot. He got by Nick Way on the Factory Suzuki.
Pushed him out right there. Now you got all of your veterans. These are the guys you expect to see in the top 5, although I think that LaRocco would have behooved himself with a much better start if he wants to defend his crown and make $100 grand again.
Typical Mike LaRocco, though, start back, work your way up, but it's hard on these tight tracks, especially when David Vuillemin starting to check out. Look at Ernesto starting to look over. You got to hook that inside.
Yeah, I have a feeling Chad Reed picked up on that too. He can see his teammate over the corner of his eyes. They go over these jumps, shoots to the inside. That was a nice pass. He could have put him over into the cheat seat, but Reed, very aggressive, but not so aggressive that they mess up and go out into the tough blocks.
You see the multiple lines. You see different ruts. That is a good thing. That means we possibly will see passing a little bit later. Little slippery jumping down to the front straightaway now. Ernesto Fonseca moves to the 4th spot. David Vuillemin out in front. 2nd spot, Ricky Carmichael. 3rd spot, 22 of Chad Reed, Fonseca, and LaRocco.
And Robbie, as you saw that picture, again, you could see Vuillemin sort of inching away from Carmichael, who in turn was inching away from Reed. So right now, it looks like the guys out front with the clear track are making time, and you know, you can win or lose a race right here.
Look at the different lines they're taking. When nobody's behind you, they'll take it as wide as they can, get that momentum up. Neat bounce. Oh, Jeff Ward style, kick the leg out, jump back on the front straightaway. Just look at the different lines coming into this jump section right here. You can go inside, double-double, or you can actually triple.
I tell you what, Robbie, I like that Jeff Ward analogy. Carmichael does look like the former Supercross champion, right down to the number 4, but tell you what, he's got his work cut out for him. As we're watching him, remember, Vuillemin inching away slowly but surely. And I tell you, that is, oh, Carmichael.
Setting up for that outside a little bit too far.
Holy smokes.
Those tough blocks don't give. He could have just as easily got thrown over the handlebar.
I tell you what, that was a world-class save. I can't imagine what was going through his mind right then.
I can't. Hearts Unlimited bail going right through the bottom of the transmission. But now it looks like Reed's starting to close in a little.
Yeah, that might have been what Reed needed to see to close up. That's going to, you know, on a track like this, you make a mistake like that, and that was a big mistake. It's going to take you a while to get back on your game. And as you can see, Reed is really closed up. But, you know, my point was that Vuillemin is slowly inching away, and, you know, Carmichael going the other direction. And now he's got a Yamaha in front of him and a Yamaha behind him. And right now, he's got to be more worried about that Yamaha behind him.
Right. The reason he hit those tough blocks, he's trying to set up wide, get into that corner. And that next time around, you have to be going, all right, don't do it again. He's going to pop up in the berm. He's kind of mentally doing himself in right now.
I tell you what, as surprised as I am at Vuillemin riding out front strong, I'm a little surprised that Carmichael's kind of sloppy right now. I mean, I know Ricky just flew back from Belgium.
Right.
He went over one of the Motocross the Nations just last weekend, but I expected him to be a little tighter, but you know what?
You've got the guy who beat you the last 6 races in Supercross behind you now. So I can understand what's going through his mind, and he's going to start getting in that defensive mode, which could eventually do him in as well. But exactly, you said he has been practicing for the Motocross the Nations. He won that event. He beat Devin Everett, the rest of the boys. Chad Reed's been practicing Supercross. He didn't go.
Chad Reed sat that out, didn't ride for Team Australia. And right there, a slingshot to the outside. Reed all over Carmichael. I think Ricky is totally unnerved, and there's that move. Wow, does Reed get out of that corner fast.
Ricky did not have the drive, threw himself forward. He knew he was not going to have that forward momentum. He's going to try and get back on the inside here. Can he stand him up? No. Too late diving into the turn, and the crowd's going crazy because they know Reed's on his way up.
If Reed gaps Carmichael right here, Ricky could forget about it because he's going to have a hard time getting that pace back up. I tell you, they've had a long time to think about this race, all the way back when they lost. Carmichael lost those last 6 Supercross races. Reed picked up right where he left off in Las Vegas back in May.
Well, Chad Reed trying to check out. He's in 2nd spot. Carmichael's behind him. Everyone chasing David Vuillemin. Stick with us. With a man on the move, the number 22 Factory Yamaha of Chad Reed has moved into 2nd.
Right when we came back, Rob, you could see Ricky make another little unforced error in the corner. I think Ricky's off his game right now, so if anyone's going to catch Vuillemin, it's going to be this guy right here, 2003 World Supercross Champion Chad Reed, but look at that gap. That was Vuillemin who just snuck back into the hallway there. And it may only be 4 or 5 seconds, but that's an eternity on a track like this.
Good battle for the 4th spot. Now Mike LaRocco gets by Ernesto Fonseca. And these are whoops built for Mike LaRocco. Have to power through them. Just hang off that rear fender and try and blow through them as fast as you can.
Yeah, that was an excellent ride through that time for Mike, but you know what? Again, that Achilles heel that's always bothered him in Supercross, the bad starts affected him now. He might be going as fast as those Yamahas up front, but we're not
already so far behind, he can't do that.
Exactly. We'll never find out if he can pass him, but yeah, LaRocco moving up in the 4th past Fonseca. Now you got to be thinking he might be able to catch Carmichael here.
Now remember, everyone, this is a 2-day event. You see the cross flags. We're halfway through this 250 final. It's a 2-day event. You don't want to do anything stupid to take yourself out of the picture for the overall. The next race, combined with this race, will give you that overall big picture. Grant Langston getting to see the number 8. We talked about how he's the 125 rating national champion.
Yeah, now he's running at 250, but you're right. You can't afford to throw it away on the first night, the first show of the U.S. Open. You know, first, second, or third gives you a shot at the overall, but LaRocco needs to move up, and so does Grant Langston. I think right now Grant's just kind of feeling out that KTM 250SX bike and getting ready for 2004.
Yeah, here's a guy who some people say he backed into that 125 championship. I say he earned it. Yeah, he didn't race that last race, but he was ahead of Ryan Hughes coming into that last race. We see the number 51, the Arena Cross champion, Josh Hansen, just behind him. Good job by Dimas. It's kind of an Arena Cross style track.
Yeah, so back to Langston real quick. You can't slag off on the guy. He may not have won a national, but it's called a championship series, and what they do is they give the title to whoever has the most points at the end of the series, and that was Grant Langston. And by the way, Ryan Hughes and James Stewart, the 2 guys that he was fighting for that championship, are both up in the stands watching. We caught James Stewart real briefly.
With gritted teeth, I may add, right now.
Now Nick Way, looking pretty good on that Suzuki, but wow, Jason Thomas also looking good on the Subway Honda.
Jason used to his ride on that Honda. Nick Way, on the other hand, a new factory Suzuki ride. Both of these guys battled out for around that 7th, 8th place position, but a high payout, $300,000 is up for grabs. So these guys are going for a lot of dough back in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, the same goes with Josh Dimas. And I know that part of the thing Josh is thinking about out there is getting ready to defend his 3rd National Arena Cross Championship, but I'm pretty impressed with how Josh has ridden, especially considering the fact he came from the 2nd row.
Jason Thomas, you hear that 4-stroke thumper trying to set up inside of Nick Way. And Nick's story is he went from privateer to privateer, back to factory. Thomas is just looking for that first shot at stardom.
Exactly. This was earlier. This was the pass Chad Reed made on Ernesto Fonseca. That's a sharp pass. Like I said earlier, he could have put him out in a cheap seat, but he didn't. And then this is Carmichael's just near disaster coming off that jump. And you know what? He hasn't been the same since. Reed was able to catch up to him, make a pretty smooth pass. Watch this. Hits the outside, slingshot to the inside, and he's on the gas while Ricky's still trying to negotiate that corner. Leaps right by him.
He was looking for traction where there was none. And David Vuillemin, he's out in front. But just like any tight Supercross or Arena Cross race, when you come into the lap riders first, it's always a detriment. You're the first guy to come up on these guys, and they don't know whether to let you by or if you're racing with them.
Yeah, and you're lapping some pretty high-end guys who aren't used to be lapped. Like, for instance, he's coming up on Jason Thomas and Nick Way, who we were just talking about. But, man, I just can't say enough about how impressed I am with Vuillemin. He looks like a totally different guy than the one who finished the Outdoor National Series. I mean, you know, the joke around the pits was that after he and his wife Erica had a baby, they had a 10-pound baby, and David went ahead and put on 10 pounds of his own. But, man, I tell you, he has obviously been in the gym, been out on the practice track. He looks sharp, he looks smooth, and he has not skipped a beat. Chad Reed sneaking up just a little bit, but you know what? David rode so well at the beginning of the race, Robbie, he has time to look back over his shoulder, kind of cruise right now.
Well, he is taking a look over the number 12 of David Vuillemin out in front. The white flag, the last lap. The last time I saw him was at Millville, and they were having to carry him off due to heat exhaustion. No exhaustion here. He might be getting some heart pump going. I'm about to win the U.S. Open night number 1, but Reed really closing in this last lap. The lappers are really causing problems.
Yeah, they are, but you know what? Vuillemin's able to get by pretty quick. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of time left in the race as far as David's chances go. But, you know, like you said, there's 2 shows in this race. You know, you got to win now and you got to win the next one. So having a second is just as good as a win, although this is really going to help David Vuillemin's confidence. Just a couple corners to go. He's got Nickway in between him. What an impressive ride for the Cobra.
No one to catch up to David Vuillemin. He takes the win. Chad Reed in second, and RC, Ricky Carmichael, is going to finish third. He's still in the hunt, as is last year's champion, The Rock. Mike LaRocco takes the number 4 position.
I tell you what, that was a start-to-finish win by David Vuillemin. He's got to be feeling good about Vegas.
When we come back, we'll hear from our winner here at the U.S. Open. Open on Speed has been brought to you by KTM. See KTM's entire ready-to-race lineup at ktmusa.com. And by Nissan, introducing the new 2004 Nissan Titan full-size truck, equipped with a standard 305 horsepower, 5.6 liter and powerful V8 engine, on sale December 1st. What a great 250 final here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. David Vuillemin takes the win, and he's with Cameron Shields.
Well, the Cobra strikes. You know, you never know what's going to happen at the U.S. Open. The underdog seems to prevail, and I don't feel good about calling you the underdog, but the odds didn't have you winning this event tonight. The first main event, you take it down, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels good. You know, yeah, my Yamaha works really good. I got the shot and tried to put away right away because I knew Ricky and Chad were really fast, and you know, I had a good gap, and you know, since Indianapolis, I didn't race the Supercross, so it's a long time, and I'm really happy for my family, for my wife, my daughter, and you know, it's good to win for Yamaha, for everybody, so I'm pretty pumped tonight.
All right, we know you have a new baby. New baby needs diapers, and $100,000 can buy some diapers, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need only diapers, it needs a lot of things, but you know, I'm really happy right now, and you know, I want to thank my wife, and she's supporting me, and you know, all the Team Yamaha, all the guys, Chad, we test together, and there's a good ambiance in the team, you know, and so I'm really happy. I'm not 100%, and I need to work for Anaheim, but you know, that's a good race to warm up.
All right, tomorrow night, you guys got to go again. Chad Reed, second place, your teammate. You know he's good. Ricky Carmichael, obviously, he's always right there. How do you play your game? Do you think about it, or do you just go straight for the win?
No, you know, it's going to be tough. You know, Chad proved like after halfway he was a little faster than me. It's always tough to lead, and you know, the guy behind give 100% to catch, and me, I was like kind of making sure I did not make a mistake. But tomorrow's going to be another day, and Ricky be fast, Chad too, and Ricky was in Belgium last week, so he did not ride Supercross very much. So, you know, it just feels good to put Yamaha on the podium.
Definitely a good race, a surprising race. David Vuillemin coming out on top, but night 2 should be no less exciting. You guys got to check that out.
Well, Davey Coombs, you take a look at the leaderboard, kind of surprised that David Vuillemin stands atop.
I tell you what, look at the first 5 guys: Vuillemin, Reed, Carmichael, LaRocco, Fonseca. That's the way you had to expect him to finish, but you know what? No one would have expected David Vuillemin. Honest to goodness, I'd have put him maybe 4th, maybe 5th, just by the way he finished the Outdoor Nationals. But Vuillemin served notice to these guys. Not only is he ready for the next U.S. Open, he's going to be ready for Supercross 2004.
Well, it is a 2-show event. You see the way that show number 1, it ended. Will he keep it up? David Vuillemin, he's on top of things right now, but again, he's got to come back again and do it all over. For Cameron Steele and Davey Coombs, I'm Robbie Floyd, and we'll see you at the next stop of the U.S. Open. Las Vegas is the kind of town where a man can become a legend. Is Yamaha's David Vuillemin such a man? He's halfway home to a $100,000 payday. The U.S. Open from the MGM Grand is next on Speed. It's the grand finale of the Maxxis U.S. Open from Las Vegas, Nevada. Defending champion Mike LaRocco looking to make it 2 in a row. but he has his work cut out for him tonight. It's the second of 2 nights here in Vegas. All of the good-looking people are here, the celebrities, the excitement, the electricity is in the air. We're in the VIP room. Hi, I'm Robbie Floyd alongside Davey Coombs. This is a 2-day event. This is day number 2, and in the 125s yesterday, a great race for the CRF250 and Chris Gosselaar.
Yeah, it sure was. A lot of people figured that one of the thumpers would be out front, but they thought it was going to be a blue bike like Mike Brown or Brock Sellards, but instead Gosselaar goes out on the maiden voyage of that CRF250R, gets his first professional win. Just a fantastic debut for that bike.
Now, Sellards, Brown, you mentioned their names, but what happened to them?
Just bad starts and crashes early in the race. They just didn't have it. But I tell you what, the big surprise, Troy Adams. A lot of people got to be scratching their heads right now wondering why they didn't sign that guy for 2004, but who knows? There's still time. He might be able to do it again tonight.
Kid was really fast. I'm looking forward to tonight. Now, the 250cc class, a great race. Underdogs are known to prevail here at the U.S. Open, and it happened again. This time, David Vuillemin, the Cobra.
Exactly. Everyone came to see a Ricky Carmichael, Chad Reed battle, and they did see it, but unfortunately, it was for second place. David Vuillemin got out front early, rode a flawless race, and I was absolutely shocked. A lot of people were, and I got to tell you, his work with David Bailey as his Supercross coach is really paying off.
It did pay off. Well, Cameron Steele was able to speak with him earlier. This is what he had to say.
Well, guys and people at home, the number 12 is in the house. The Cobra strikes. Night number 1, first place. You got to like that. On your way to possibly $100,000, David?
Yeah, it's possible, but you know, it's one more night of racing, and we have 2 great guys to beat tonight, and it's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to give whatever I have to do it.
All right, so Chad Reed comes second, Ricky Carmichael third. They're the odds-on favorites coming in. I know you're a little pushed around by the whole odds thing, and you want to win, but I heard you saying earlier that it's a good thing that both these bikes are blue.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure it's going to be a tight track. It's going to be a tight race, and in practice we have basically all 3 the same lap time. So, you know, to pass somebody at the same lap time, you have to do a block pass. So I think you're going to see a lot of contacts tonight.
Rubbing is racing, though. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you know, I don't take anybody out. You know, it's not my style. I'm gonna, even if I have to set up for second or third, you know, that's a good weekend for me. You know, I'm not here for the money. I'm here to have fun on the Supercross track, and there's a great people in the crowd, and I think that's what it is.
For those of you people at home that may not know David Vuillemin, like we do here in Supercross land, he is calm, cool, and collected. And when he's loose like he is right now, he is so dangerous. It should be an exciting night.
Thanks, Cameron. We'll see if he has that sting of the Cobra tonight. Davey Coombs, this is a 2-stop event. We're on the second night, but boy, last night, great action in both the 125 and the 250.
It sure was. Great racing, Robbie, because these guys are going for the richest purse in all of motorcycling, $300,000. And for the first time, it includes the 125 Supercross guys. And here you saw in the beginning, Kelly Smith with a good start. Brock Sellards, who's an early favorite, goes down right away. He's out of the picture. And wow, it's no surprise that Kelly Smith got the start. A big surprise was Troy Adams, a practically unheard of privateer, shows up here at the MGM Grand and decides to show everyone that he's ready for Supercross 2004. Puts a move on Kelly Smith, and then Mike Brown, who a lot of people, you know, he's making his 4-stroke debut. A lot of people thought he'd be up there, but instead Brownie back in 6th. But this guy right here, Chris Gosselaar, almost start to finish. Solid win on the maiden voyage, like we said at the top, showing that 4-stroke Honda. He gets the win, and then Kelly Smith is able to battle back from Andrew Short to get 3rd, but he's got a way to go if he's going to get after Chris Gosselaar.
This is a 2-day event. You see the last-ditch effort by Andrew Short to no avail. Smith holds on to that 3rd spot. Now this is basically a 2-moto format. Night number 1, night 2, you get a combination, and the second race always breaks those ties.
In the 250 class, David Vuillemin shocked everyone. I mean, for lack of a better word, 20 laps, start to finish, main event win. This is a guy who hasn't won a Supercross in a couple years and really wasn't a factor all summer long in the Outdoor Nationals, but he got out front early and took off. Meanwhile, his teammate Chad Reed had to get a little aggressive with Ernesto Fonseca, working his way up through the field, and then he came up to his nemesis in Supercross, Ricky Carmichael, and check out this pass. Slingshot right past the Honda. Chad Reed serving notice that he's ready to go, but you know what? Before he can win, he's got to catch this guy right here, his teammate David Vuillemin. Vuillemin, smooth, solid, sleek. I can't say enough about the guy. It was a perfect ride for the Cobra.
David Vuillemin was able to take the win. Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael rounded out the top 3. Mike LaRocco still in the hunt in 4th spot. When we come back, we're going to let loose the 125. And Chris Gosselaar, can he make it 2 in a row? Or will the 2 Yamahas of Mike Brown and Kelly Smith have something to say about it? Stick with us. Open on Speed is being brought to you by Thor, First in Gear. And by KTM. It's time to go KTM. Don't miss KTM's fall sale. Awesome deals on every KTM in stock. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Glad you could join us. Robbie Floyd alongside Davey Coombs in 125cc heat race number 1. Davey, top 5, transferred directly into the final.
Yeah, and there you saw what Eric Nye is looking at from the back row. And on the inside, Mike Brown with a hole shot, and he's right up against the Suzuki number 245. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure who that is. Tommy Harrison. Wow, that's a surprise. A privateer with a real good start, but Brown makes short work of him. So Mike Brown out front. Coming up behind him, you see one of his teammates. That's Josh Hansen in 3rd. Brownie finished 6th in the opener, and he's got a lot of work cut out for him if he's going to get up there and win this inaugural 125 championship here at the U.S. Open.
Got to give some love to Tommy Harrison on the AJ Racing Suzuki. Back in that 3rd or 4th spot now. He's battling out with number 32, Andrew Short, who really knows the fast way around this track. Let's take a look at that first lap. Had a little traffic jam here.
Yeah, right there you see number 92, and that's Ryan Dudek. Gets a little hung up there. I tell you, Robbie, we're going to see that all night long here on this tight track.
And while we were away, Andrew Short was able to get by Mike Brown. Brownie tried to stick a nose in there. But Andrew Short, your leader right now out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, on that MotoWorldRacing.com Suzuki.
Andrew just finished off the podium last night in 4th and off to a real good start here tonight. Looks like Brown's having a little bit of trouble. Josh Hansen, his younger teammate, gets right up there on him as they go back into the tunnels. And here's the pass right here. I don't know that Brown even saw this coming. Andrew Short comes inside. That is a classic Supercross block pass. If he wanted to, he could have taken Mike way outside. Check it out. Sets it up, jumps to the inside. Brown's thinking about the exit of the turn. Andrew takes advantage of that and just slides right in there. Could have knocked him down, but clean racing by Andrew Short.
You have to get to that exit first. Andrew Short out in front. Again, as you mentioned, finished 4th at the first stop. He's going to be a winner of heat race number 1, and all the way to the finish, Josh Hansen all over Mike Brown. Chris Gosselaar and Tommy Hoffmaster round out the field. They will transfer at Cameron's with Andrew Short.
Well, Andrew winning the first heat's got to be a lot better feeling than last night. It was tough on you last night.
Yeah, definitely. I had a hard time last night. I made just basic, stupid moves, and I paid for it all last night. I started on the 2nd row, and I moved my way up to 4th, and tonight I'm starting off on a really good foot. Now I can win this thing tonight.
Well, Andrew exuding confidence. All right, heat number 2 of the 125cc. Same format, top 5 transfer.
And another Suzuki out front, only this time it's Brock Hepler on that new 4-stroke. It's got Casey Lytle on the KTM behind him, and a bad start a little further back. And right there you can see Ryan Mills kind of come inside Kelly Smith, and he goes down, so that's going to put him toward the back.
The object is to come in the top 5, but you've got to keep it on 2 wheels. You're starting to drop out of things. 61, Troy Adams, he was 2nd last night. He's going back in the pack.
And then you see Hepler doing real good, comes to the whoops, and he just gets squirrely right there and stalls out that bike. You can hear the other bikes going by. Casey Lytle goes by, and then you got Evan Lockridge, who has raced in Canada. Looked like he had the lead, but instead in the back, Steve Mertens had a little problem. And then, oh man, Casey Lytle messes up over the jump, kind of fumbled, hit a false neutral right there or something. Kelly Smith runs right into the back of him. You see Lytle getting helped off the track there by Eddie Casillas and the Astros medical doctors, and just a tough night all around for these guys. But Ryan Mills, after that early fall, comes through and he takes the checkered flag, and what a surprise for a race.
Everyone seemed to go down. Mills, Lockridge, Smith, Adams, and Mertens will be the transfers.
Well, Ryan Mills, you had to get through the carnage to get that heat race win. Last night at 7th place. You definitely want to step it up and go for the win like your teammate did last night.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to try. I mean, Chris rode great last night, and I was actually lucky some guys went down because, I mean, if they didn't go down, it would have been a little harder for me out there. But, you know, I put my work in this past couple weeks at the Supercross track, so I just hope I can do it here tonight and be on the podium with Chris.
If If you don't make it in the heat race, you must qualify through the LCQ. In this one, only 2 transfer, and Brock Hebler, fucking Bronco there, Davey.
Yeah, we've seen people go down the whoops all weekend long. You see him stuck under his bike. Brock was 5th the first night. He is not going to make the main event. You know, this time at least he kept the bike running. And out front, number 191, Jonathan Schimm. That's a big surprise.
Jonathan Schimm leads right now, but in that last chance qualifier, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. These guys behind you are going to be pressing. They're going to be making contact, whatever it takes to get those 2 spots.
You see Eric Vallejo come up on the inside, and, well, that's it for Jonathan Schimm. He goes backwards. Vallejo, like Andrew Short, a newlywed, so we say congratulations. Good to see being married hasn't slowed him down a bit.
Take a look at this, Davey, on the inside. What happened to Hebler here?
Well, you know what? He lost his balance. He could feel himself going over in the tough blocks. He tried to keep his balance on the bike. I mean, give him full credit for trying to save it, but there was no way. And then right here, I mean, we've seen this all night long, all weekend long. Here comes on the inside. Vallejo takes Schimm outside. At least he didn't put him out in the bales, but Greg Schnell's able to get by. That's going to lock up the last 2 spots. It's going to be Vallejo and Greg Schnell transferring the main event.
Only 2 transfers, so unfortunate for Daniel Blair, Blos, and 9. They are not going to be in the final. All right, the 125cc field is set for the finals. And don't forget the 250, Ricky Carmichael, show number 1 winner, David Vuillemin, and Chad Reed when we come back. Las Vegas, Nevada. Everybody getting their picture with Ricky Carmichael. You know, he's raced here in Las Vegas many times, but here in our Honda rider profile, he tells us what makes Vegas so special.
Well, Vegas is special to race in number 1 because it's Vegas, and there's just, I mean, this place is just weird, you know. It's unreal. Every time I come here, this place amazes me. And especially if you win in Vegas, there's always something going on. So that's the coolest thing. If you can win in Vegas, you always know there's going to be fun that night. And that's what I enjoy, you know, having a good time and just the venue here at MGM and Vegas itself. It's a fun atmosphere.
What's that, fun? Vegas? Yeah. 250cc heat race number 1. Again, 5 qualify, and out in front is the Honda of Ernesto Fonseca. This guy's been pretty hot here in Vegas. I want to sit next to him on the craps table.
Well, check it out, the busiest man of the night, Andrew Short, got a pretty good start there. He's off at about 4th. Carmichael's on the far inside. He got pinched out, so check it out. You see Ricky right there, number 4, comes up on the hay bales on the inside, but he just did not get the start. LaRocco leans out a little bit on your outside, but Fonseca, it's like the whole pack parted for him. He just shot right to the inside.
Speaking of shooting on the inside, David Vuillemin trying to stick a wheel inside of Mike LaRocco. There's the one guy you probably don't want to power too much. You don't want to rub elbows with a rock.
Yeah, and you know what? It looked like Vuillemin was riding with a lot of respect right there. He could have gotten an elbow under and pushed him out, almost like flat track racing, but Vuillemin makes a good pass. LaRocco comes back on the inside.
No respect right there. He was going for that front tire.
Yeah, but you can see David really carrying over some of that speed he had in the opening night. Now, these are a couple guys that race Supercross together every Saturday night in the winter, and you can see real close quarters, going fast. That's a complicated piece of track, but they both get through okay. And now LaRocco's got Ricky Carmichael to deal with. Oh, and LaRocco overjumped just a little bit, and that was all Ricky needed. Man, that's the way it is here in the MGM, Robbie. You make one mistake, just one blink of an eye, you make a mistake, someone goes right by.
All right, look what happened. You want to talk about false neutral. Look at LaRocco get thrown forward right there. There was no power going to the rear wheel.
He's lucky he didn't keep going and eject right over the side of that berm. And then Ricky was able to get right up on David Vuillemin, carries that momentum up. And again, you know, these guys race together. They have a lot of respect. You don't see quite this respect in the 125 class. You know, gets right up there, but now Ernesto Fonseca is way out front, and there's no way Carmichael's going to catch him.
So Fonseca takes the win. Ricky moves up to the number 2 spot. Vuillemin, LaRocco, and the Arena Cross champion Josh Demuth in the final transfer. Down to Cameron.
Well, there's odds-on favorites like Chad and Ricky, and then night 1 winner David Vuillemin. But hey, Ernesto Fonseca is in the house.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to be up here, you know, and it's the first heat race that I've ever won on a 250. Really happy my bike was working good, and, you know, hopefully I can do it in the main, too.
In the second 250 heat race, Chad Reed, this guy, he has to be the fastest on the track. this weekend. Give it a good start. He's looking to take the win tonight.
Yeah, that's all he was lacking the first time, Robbie. A really bad start. You get a good start here and you're able to stay out of all the carnage. You see him getting out there trying to take care of things, but Reed just as solid as Vuillemin the night before, but can he beat Carmichael?
Well, Chad, in heat number 1, neither one of the podium finishers with you from the first night could win it. Ernesto Fonseca wins. You win heat number 2. Do you feel like that gives you a little bit more momentum? Maybe those guys are tight tonight?
It was a good thing because there wasn't, as many people in the race, and, I was able to be able to start on the grid where I kind of felt comfortable. I didn't really have to protect my line on the inside. So, I was able to try a few things in that race, and I think it's working for the main event. Hopefully I can get a whole shot and do what Billy did last night and just use the race to my advantage and just run my lines and do my race.
We're looking for 2 more riders in our 250 final. Heath Voss is out in front, 28 on the Mach 1 Yamaha, but this battle for second, little contact.
Right there, Jason Thomas gets, that's not even a love tap that Tyler Evans gave. That was a full-on bums rush. Evans, former freestyler, part of what they call the Metal Militia, back into racing. Right here he's going with top privateer, or one of the top privateers from last year's Supercross series, Keith Johnson. Keith gets inside, gives Evans a taste of his own medicine, but you know what? This is a little bit of payback. Evans hits Johnson again, gives him a little look back, and some of the most aggressive racing we've seen here at the MGM Grand. White flag is out. All Evans has to do is just hold on, get ready to one more trip down through the whoops, coming along the outside. He's going to have, whoa!
All he has to do is keep it on 2 wheels, just like you said, Davey Coon.
I was just getting ready to say, all Tyler has to do is going to beat Johnson, and man, right there, hits a bear trap or a landmine or something, and that was it. You know what? His karma wasn't very good at that point anyway.
Now he's going to go back to that militia compound and try and work on that nose wheelie a little better. So Keith Voss takes the win. Keith Johnson, the final transfer. Everyone else gets a great seat up in the stands. Down the camera still with our 125 finalists still to go.
Well, guys, we're backstage and staging, getting ready for the 125cc main event, and well, there's a lot of winners here. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Everybody's hanging out. Andrew Short, Ryan Mills, Kelly Smith, and Chris Gosselaar. You guys are actually kind of cool with each other, even though you got to go out there and trade paint?
I think it's just a show for camera. I mean, off camera, we all hate each other.
Oh, okay, so you guys are normally banging bars and get to it. You won a heat tonight. Your boy won the main last night. You like the reverse rolls there? You like to take the heat, the main win?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, all these guys are riding good, but it's going to be fun out there because I'm not letting Chris win tonight, so.
What about the whole shot master? You had a rhyme for me.
Oh, yeah. Blackjack Paddywhack here at Las Vegas.
Kelly Smith and Andrew Short winning the heat tonight. Last night, frustrating. What about a main event win? Number 2 here in Vegas for you?
Yeah, Vegas been good for me, so hopefully we have a repeat.
Right on, all these guys are looking loose. You know, they're loading the bikes, going to the gate. I'd be nervous. I'm chewing my fingernails just talking to these guys. But hey, back up to you guys upstairs.
Well, there's one guy who should be nervous for the 125 final, and that's Chris Gosselaar. He won the first show, but can he repeat? Take a look at Mike Brown.
You see Mills is going to elect to not take that far inside line. He gives it up to Mike Brown, like you said. Evan Lockridge, a real fast qualifier. Kelly Smith, of course, we saw him get on the podium the first night. Troy Adams overcame that crash to make the main event, and then Vallejo and Schnell survived that LCQ. Taking a look at the track here now, it's ironic that the biggest person Supercross happens to take place on the smallest track. And from right here on the screen, it may look like it was designed by Excitebike, but don't get the wrong impression. They brought Rich Winkler and the Dirtworks crew in here. They put in 6 lanes, and that's as Supercross as it gets. It's just shrunk down a little bit. But hey, if you want to race in the MGM Grand Garden Arena, you can't make it a full deal, but you got to make the best you can of it. And I think they did a fantastic job on this racetrack.
When you don't have enough room inside, we bring it outside for just a moment. All right, 15 laps, 125 main event.
You see Brown edging up, and he got a little bit of a rolling start, and I think he's going to get the whole shot. No, of course. Kelly Smith once again.
Go figure, huh?
Yamaha of Troy's 1, 2, and 3. You see Short there coming up in 4th. Lockridge with a good start. But Mike Brown takes the early lead. Kelly Smith right behind him. Where is Chris Gosselaar?
Gosselaar back in the pack, but Kelly Smith known to get good starts, and Mike Brown really made that when he had the inside line and just hugged on that inside.
Yeah, that's what you want to do on a track like this. You know what? If anyone's got the strength to muscle people out, it's Mike Brown, but notice Kelly Smith got there before him, and that's kind of expected. You see Josh Hansen a little bit trouble through loops, and right there just went Gosselaar. Not a good start, certainly not as good as he started in the first main event. He's got his work cut out for him.
Let's talk about this field. I mean, this is a full-blown 125 class. We were expecting Brownie to be there in the last show. He was not. He was outside the top 3. Kelly Smith, on the other hand, is going for the overall.
Yeah, right now Kelly Smith is kind of sitting in the driver's seat with Adams and Gosselaar being a little far back, but a couple 4 strokes out front, then you have that RM 125 of Short, and I know that he got 4th the first night. He's got an outside chance. In fact, if you broke it down right now, it would be between Smith and Short for the win here, the 125 overall.
And Andrew Short knows that. He's back at that 3rd spot, and he sees his closest competitor as being his closest rival as far as that overall goes. And Kelly Smith, he's going to take those inside lines, saying, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do the long way around the outside.
Yeah, Andrew Short's riding with a lot of confidence. That happens when you win a Supercross like he did back in May. He won the East-West Shootout. Also, don't forget, he just got himself married. He married Jackie Hudson, WML motocrosser. They might just be the fastest couple in all of motocross, replacing Derek Natfig and Mercedes Gonzalez and the Wagners from up in Michigan. So congratulations to Andrew Short. But right now he's not thinking honeymoon. He's thinking a win here at the U.S. Open.
Oh, but if he wins here at the U.S. Open, he'd have another honeymoon. Big payday, $300,000 total purse. Stick with us for more of the 125. Welcome back to Speed's coverage of the U.S. Open. Robbie Floyd, Davey Coombs, and Cameron Steele calling the action. We're halfway through this 125 final here. And Chris Gosselaar is nowhere near the top 3. He's got to move up if he's going to win this thing. Right now, out in front is Mike Brown, number 3. Josh Hansen now up to 5th spot as he's trying to work his way through the field.
I tell you what, that bad start just killed him, because check it out. You've got 3 of the fastest Supercross riders in the world running 1, 2, 3, and then you got Ryan Mills, who's set the fastest heat race. So Gosselaar's got his work cut out for him. In fact, I think right now you got to focus on the battle for 2nd and 3rd between Smith and Short for the guy who's going to win the overall in this race. Of course, Kelly Smith was 3rd in our first main event. Short was a very close 4th. Mike Brown finished back in 6th. So, I mean, that's why it's like motocross going. Right here comes Short up the inside. Smith's able to hold him up. That's why it's so important to be consistent here in the MGM Grand, because they count both scores equally. In case of a tie, it's whoever does better on this night's action.
Well, that second moto breaks ties. That's why tonight is so important. Mike Brown out in front, but you know, there's one big name we haven't mentioned, and that's James Bubba Stewart. He's here in Vegas. He's not riding, and we wondered why, so we asked him.
You know, just not been getting on the bike, and we're hoping to look forward to it and figure out the things for the next year and the next couple weeks. So, you know, I've been riding the 4-stroke and everything, and it's a good bike, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, man, James Stewart on a 4-stroke. The idea of just how fast that kid might be that's pretty mind-boggling. But back to the battle here. Right there, Andrew Short just got a great drive out of the whoops, and he's able to shoot right by Kelly Smith. And check it out, Robbie. Chris Gosselaar on the sidelines.
Holding his forearm, too.
Yeah.
And you know, a guy, if he's somewhat hurt, he'll get back in, especially for tens of thousands of dollars. So it looks like he may be injured beyond returning to this fray. But Andrew Short's a fast guy on the track. He's all over Mike Brown now. He got by Kelly Smith.
And that's huge, because right now, as it stands, Andrew Short would be your winner of the 125 cc class here. With Gosselaar out of the picture, Short going 4th the first night. He'd have a 2nd tonight. Mike Brown would have a 6-1. Kelly Smith would have a 3-3. So the MotorWorldRacing.com Suzuki rider, that would be a big surprise. But you know what? He's not letting up. He is coming right up on Mike Brown.
Well, Mike Brown takes a look over. He has to be aware of the rider next to him or behind him.
Well, he could certainly tell it's Short, because that's the only 2-stroke that's that far up in the pack.
Right, but he's trying to make him go that long way around. You see him look, he'll take those inside lines, but Short looks very fast out there. He might have been 4th the first night, but don't count him out tonight.
Yeah, we could see the confidence beginning of the show. Oh, and he almost got off the bike there. Almost had a problem. You see everyone going by Chris Gosselaar again. So, yeah, scratch him out. He is definitely out of the race, but right now it's Brown, Short, and Smith. And not only is this the battle for tonight's main event, this is the battle for the overall title here at the MGM Grand.
Well, what about Brown? Is it Pride? Is he side by side?
Oh, he almost had him right there. I'm sure it's these guys.
Brown, is it pride? Because he finished 6th that first moto. Is it a pride thing right now that he just says, I'm the fastest on night number 2? Because he's probably not in it for the overall.
Oh, pride, money, everything. These guys are Supercross racers. You come up on the inside. Oh, a little look over the shoulder by Short, and Brown comes right back. Oh, and he knocked him right out into the hay bales.
Little gamesmanship right there. You run him deep, cut underneath, you get your own nose taken out. Some Mike Brown out in front. Kelly Smith knocking on the door.
I know. You know what? That was a big turn of events. You saw Kelly Smith make a clean pass. At the same time, Mike Brown was able to get right back past him. And you see the red cross flag job. Mike Brown should not have jumped that tabletop. Andrew Short on the sidetrack. Now watch this again. See Short come sliding in, looks over his shoulder. Not too aggressive, maybe a little bit of attitude. And then Mike Brown right back. And
that was aggressive.
That was aggressive, but that wasn't a takeout move by any means. Look, he's in the middle of the racetrack. He comes over, he's looking over. Yeah, he banked off him a little bit. And I'll tell you what, they're booing right now in the MGM. If that were Bristol, Tennessee, where Mike Brown's from, NASCAR country, he'd be getting a standing ovation. That's the difference between East and West.
The first time I saw it, I thought Brown took out Short. The second time, you could see he was making a deliberate move to try and make that inside turn. There just was no more room left. So Mike Brown, now the benefactor, out in front. You're right, he did jump on the cross flag. We want to remind you that if the cross flag comes out as he is going to jump it, the officials have to make that decision. Yeah. Unfortunate for Kelly Smith, though.
Remember, though, that was a tabletop jump, and there's a big difference there. It was not a double jump. Mike Brown's got the lead, but the big recipient is going to be Kelly Smith, his Yamaha of Troy teammate. Smith is going to finish 2nd place behind Mike Brown, and that's going to give him the overall win. One more corner to go from the veteran from Tennessee. There's the checkered flag.
The battle is won by Mike Brown, number 3, but the war goes to Kelly Smith, and we'll hear from both of them when we come back to Vegas.
For breath after the amazing race. Check with the AMA. The reason Mike Brown was not disqualified or docked because the cross flag was not on the face of that double.
No matter what, his 2nd place was able to take the overall. Cameron's with Kelly Smith.
Well, guys, set on top of the podium, the Boost Mobile Yamaha of Troy rider, Kelly Smith. His first ride for the team, his first ever Supercross win. You've got to be pumped.
Oh, I am. My Dunlop tires hooked up and got me out to a great start, and the new team's doing awesome. My new mechanic, Larry's awesome, and you know, I got to thank the Lord for keeping me safe out there. I'm pumped. It's a great way to start off with the new team.
It's a 2-night race. It's got to be tough for you guys to think about pacing yourself last night and then being safe tonight. Is it hard to make your moto how you're going to do it?
Oh, man, you know, it all depends on how you do on the start, and I've been lucky enough to get some great starts, and you know, I was in there in 2nd behind Brown, and he was kind of holding me up a little, so Short was right on me, and man, I was just hoping he didn't, you know, do something dumb and take me down and, you know, mess me up for the overall, and he ended up getting by me and went down with Brown, so it worked out for me, but I don't know, it's hard to, you know, predict what's going to happen.
Taking home the win to Michigan.
Yeah, I'm pumped, and my wife's here, and we got friends and family back home watching, I hope, and I'm pumped.
Congratulations, a great race for Kelly Smith, his first ever win. It should set him off great for next year's Supercross season. Back up to you guys.
You're exactly right, Cameron. Let's take a look at our results here for night number 2. I'm impressed with Ryan Mills, a consistent 3rd spot. He was up front all night, and Troy Adams in 5th. Andrew Short drops back to 8th.
Well, it's a tough break for Andrew, and you know what? A lot of people aren't too happy with Mike Brown. He's with Cameron Steele.
Well, Brownie, a big win on night number 2, but last night you had to be frustrated. You found out there was a problem with your carburetor?
Yeah, you know, I come here the weekend, you know, after riding my bike all week and testing, it was awesome, and I get here, and it's, you know, had a little bit of problem with the carburation, and, you know, thank goodness I have a good team, you know, to figure out what was going on, because I ain't rode a four-stroke enough to tell them really exactly what's going on right now, and you know, they got it figured out. My bike's awesome tonight, and I got 2 good starts, and you know, that's all I can do. Hopefully I can continue this all year long.
You know, it's kind of ironic, and I don't know if you're doing the math while you're out there, but while you were leading, Andrew was 2nd, and Kelly was 3rd, you would be the overall winner, and then you and Andrew get together. Basically, you put yourself in the win tonight, but by Andrew losing out, by you guys getting together, you took yourself out of the win overall.
For sure, you know, I wasn't counting on overall. I was just going for the win, you know, and I needed that. I've been out for a while, and I ain't raced in a long time, and you know, I just wanted to win. That's all I came here for, and you know, overall it would have been great. You know, luckily my teammate got it, and you know, I'm here just to win and do my best every race.
As we look at the 125 overall results, Smith, Brown, and how about that? Brooksville, Florida's own Troy Adams able to take the number 3 spot, and he's down with Cameron Steele. Boy, he's smiling a lot.
Well, folks, he wraps up his first year in Supercross, starting off his second year. Troy Adams on the podium, a 3rd place, a true privateer riding for the Moto XXX team. This has got to be gratifying.
I don't know what to say. I was so much in a jumble after I came off the finish line. I heard Irv Braun saying that I might have got 3rd overall, and that just got my nerves racing again. And I thought I'd just calm down after the checkered flag, getting all the adrenaline away, but it's great to be up here.
I can see where you might be a little bit confused because you didn't have a great start. I mean, did you have some problems at the beginning?
I did. Me and a couple other guys, I got my foot caught in some guy's rear wheel, and I couldn't get it out. And after the 2nd turn, and that just got me all screwed up. So I was just playing catch up the whole race, and I made a few mistakes. But I told myself to calm down over one of the triples and get a deep breath and start all over again, and it worked.
Well, 3rd place for you, first time ever on the podium. Kelly Smith winning his first time. Maybe the times are changing a little bit in Supercross. Should be an exciting year.
Maybe, and it's good to start it off like this.
Great job.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, he's looking forward to the 2004 Supercross schedule, and speaking of that, here it is. Find a stop near you. Each one of them being promoted by Clear Channel Motorsports, except the Daytona Beach round. But again, find the stop near you, write it down in your calendar, and we'll expect to see you there. Now, Amateur Arena Cross World Finals, these young ladies, young men from around the country, Davey, qualified to get here to Vegas, and they had a great time.
Lots of happy participants in the amateur division. You see some of the champions there. If you want to participate in the 2004 version of the World Arena Cross Finals, just visit the U.S. National Arena Cross Championship Series, getting ready to kick off in Albany, New York.
The 250 final is ready here in Vegas. Will Vuillemin roll snake eyes or 7? Stick with us. Racing, because we're at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the U.S. Open. The field is set. Ernesto Fonseca with the quickest heat race.
Fonseca really fast, but Chad Reed's right there. So are the big hitters. Carmichael, Vuillemin. See LaRocco back in 7th. 12 riders made this main event. This is the finals. The 2003 U.S. Open. You see Nick Wade lined up on the inside. Carmichael right next to him. There's Joe Aloff. And off the start, looks like Carmichael got a great jump. And once again, it's Fonseca. Fonseca on the inside takes the lead. And then you've got Vuillemin, Reed, Carmichael back and forth.
Honda has to be happy with Ernesto Fonseca getting ready for this 2004 season. He's showing some promise here this weekend. Fonseca is out in front. Here comes Carmichael on the inside of Vuillemin and makes the pass. Now LaRocco up inside of Reed. How did he get by Reed?
I don't know, but right now Vuillemin is definitely not starting out the same way he did in the first main event. He is all the way back at 3rd, and now he's got Reed and LaRocco coming right up on him. Reed on the inside there.
You can be offensive or defensive. Right now, Chad Reed being very offensive. Fonseca trying to check out, and he goes down.
Oh, what an unfortunate fall. Fonseca had it made. He had a great start. All he had to do is kind of gap himself a little bit from the pack. He's been in the running for a podium as it is. He's all the way back at 12th.
Very reminiscent of Ricky Carmichael last year, I may add, almost in that same section.
Hey, in this town, you never count your money until you leave the table. And now Carmichael with a nice little gap. You see Reed take a look back over his shoulder. And I tell you what, we're the same way we finished last night, only it's complete reverse order. Carmichael 1, Reed 2, Vuillemin 3.
And if it stays in this position, it's Ricky Carmichael who will walk out of here with his 3rd U.S. Open championship.
See him hugging the inside right there. Vuillemin doing everything he can to get around Reed. And right now, I tell you, Carmichael looks solid. You see him getting the board from Mike Gosselaar right there. Carmichael looks good, but Reed, much better start. And you got to admit, at the beginning of the first main event, Reed was definitely the fastest man on the track at the end.
David Vuillemin, the Cobra's back in 3rd spot. He said, I just need to get one at a time, but he was riding a little too defensive to start things off. And this guy, Chad Reed, he's definitely not doing so. He's kind of biding his time, though. It looks like he's trying to wait for Ricky to make a mistake, but he is all over the CR250 of Ricky Carmichael.
I tell you what, in the close quarters like this, I have a feeling Carmichael would be more uncomfortable if he were at 2nd right now, because there's a long way to go. In fact, there you see Reed swing around the outside. Tries that slingshot pass. Carmichael looks like he's riding defensively. Now this is where Reed passed him the first time. He got a better drive out. Maybe Carmichael learned that lesson, kept it a little tighter.
He did. He went to the inside down that front straightaway, made all the difference in the world. But look how close Reed is. You know how hard it is to stay this close without actually making a pass. But boy, you're putting the fear of the Yamaha in that Honda rider in front of him. Carmichael trying to lean over and shut down the door.
I tell you what, right now, Reed is actually setting the pace for this race, even though he's in second. You don't see that very often. He is riding with the most confidence, ducks the inside. You see the crowd on their feet. Carmichael held it, but Reed gets the better drive going down through the whoops.
I'm on my feet. Boy, Chad Reed takes it. All right, how much does Ricky want it? We know he's been practicing for the donations. Reed's been practicing for the Supercross, but man, Reed is just trying to check out as quick as he can.
And there you saw Davey Dye giving Chad the signal from the Pro Yamaha pits. But wow, Carmichael, I know, has been thinking about this for a long time. As we've talked about a couple times, Robbie, he ended up the last Supercross season with 6 straight losses, but he didn't necessarily have to beat Chad. Now he kind of wants to reset the tempo, get ready for 2004, and remind Chad why he's the 3-time series champion. But right now, Ricky's got to be thinking, what in the world have I got myself into? It's like Jeremy McGrath reborn with Chad Reed out front on that Yamaha.
Well, Reed's out in front now. Ricky Carmichael in the U.S. Supercross Series. Second place won him the championship. And here at the U.S. Open, he's not going to win $100,000 if he stays in second place. And Chad Reed wants it in a bad way. Stick with us for more of the 250 final from Vegas when we come back. In these tight confines, you're coming into lappers, and Ricky Carmichael's hoping they help him out a little bit with 4 laps to go.
Well, he needs some help, but I got to tell you, Chad Reed, I was blown away by how well Vuillemin rode last night. This guy tonight, Chad Reed, is actually riding faster, and he is serving notice to everybody that he is ready for Supercross 2004, which is going to start in Spain in early December with the first couple rounds of the World Supercross Series. I know Chad's talking about going. I tell you what, if I'm Ricky Carmichael, I'm packing my bags too, because right now it is Reed and not Carmichael, the 3-time champion, who is setting the pace in Supercross.
With the last show, the lappers really seem to help Reed close in on Vuillemin. Here, it seems like it's all Yamahas that are in front of him. They're going to move over. They're going to say, hey, buddy, you're out in front. You deserve this race. There's really not much adherence to the blue flag in these type races because they're all battling for position.
Oh, exactly. And you got people who rarely get lapped that are seeing that blue flag. But you know what? The way Chad Reed's riding right now, he's completely on top of his game. A lapper might be in front of him, but he's not going to get in his way. Right now, Chad just can't do any wrong. You see him starting to gap Ricky Carmichael. And you know what? This is going to have repercussions beyond just that 6-figure paycheck Chad's about to pick up if he holds on to this, because Carmichael and Honda are going to have to go back to the drawing board. Again, he had a lot of time to get ready for the Motocross of the Nations. That's a completely different type of racing. But when he gets ready to get back to Supercross, he knows what he's going to have to do because he's seeing it right now in the flesh. Number 22 in control.
Let's talk about that mental paycheck he's going to be cashing over Ricky Carmichael too. You walk out of here with more confidence than he probably had all at the end of last year, winning 6 races in a row. As we're on the last lap, the white flag's out. What about the confidence factor going into the 2004 championship?
I'll tell you what, it makes a huge difference, Robbie, especially the way Chad's summer went. We talked about that before. Carmichael dominated the Outdoor Nationals. Chad didn't even win a moto. All he had to work off of with those last 6 Supercross wins is you could see the people in a packed MGM Grand up on their feet, giving him a standing ovation. This is a tour de force as far as Supercross goes. He started behind Carmichael. He passed him. $100,000 on the line, and Chad Reed invincible here in Vegas.
One more turn to go, and Chad Reed is going to be $100,000 richer and crowned the next champion of the U.S. Open. So the bettors, the odds makers, they knew what they were talking about when they had Chad Reed at even odds. When we come back, we'll hear from our podium. Stick with us. Brought to you by Honda. Ride red with a back-to-back AMA Supercross and Motocross champions, the Honda CRF250R and Ricky Carmichael. Introducing the new 2004 Nissan Titan full-size truck, equipped with a standard 305 horsepower, 5.6 liter and powerful V8 engine, on sale December 1st. Thank you for rejoining us here on Speed in Las Vegas. The U.S. Open is just about over with. The 85cc class, 4 motos. Jeff Alessi battled out in moto number 1, and he was able to take the win on that CR80.
Unfortunately, the second moto did not bode as well for Jeff Alessi. He went for the triple jump, just way too ambitious. He goes down hard, and that's going to mean the end of his weekend at the U.S. Open. Dominic Izzy who bowed to second the first time, wins that race. Then in the next one, it was time for Josh Hill to put his Yamaha out front. He took the third main event win, but in the end, it was the #1 Suzuki of Nico Izzy who was crowned the 85cc champion. But the real big winner was Chad Reed, and he's with Cameron Steele.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he was the odds-on favorite, and Chad Reed did not disappoint. Reedy, how about 100 grand, buddy? A good day's work.
Woo.
I had no idea.
Nice. I didn't either. I heard it.
The second biggest check I've ever had was the World Supercross was my biggest, and both are from Clear Channel. So, you know, I want to thank Clear Channel a lot because they're doing a great job for our sport and, you know, taking it to the next level. So thanks for that. And I want to thank my team, Yamaha, for making me an awesome 250. And, you know, I think I answered a few questions. You know, I had a really tough outdoor season and things didn't go my way, but we showed that we had the best bike in Supercross and what I can do on the best bike. So, you know, I'm happy for that and the team and all the guys at Thor and Parts Unlimited, Scott, Bridgestone, my fiance Ellie for, you know, her support and just everybody, you know, Bob Moore, the family, Steve, my trainer Jeff Spencer. You know, we've been doing a lot of hard work and we want that title next year.
So Chad, what are you going to do with all the money?
You know, $100,000 is a lot of money, and but you know, I really wanted to win for myself and the money to give to a good friend of mine that got paralyzed. So you know, money's not going to be mine. So you know, I want to give it to him and get him back to Australia and get him well.
Congratulations, a great ride. You got some time, so let's celebrate a little bit. Chad Reed, your overall winner. Great job, Chad.
Very good gesture by Chad Reed there. $100,000 going to his buddy Jamie Brogman, who was injured at Millville at an outdoor national a couple of months ago. As you see the final results for the 250 final, and Cameron Steele's down with Ricky Carmichael. He has 2 championships, but couldn't make it #3 this week.
Well, Ricky, you made the decision to represent the United States at the Dis Nations. It put you behind the 8 ball a little bit. You couldn't test for Supercross. It's frustrating coming in here, but you told me you feel a little bit more comfortable tonight than you did on night 1.
Definitely. I mean, I think I rode a lot better. You know, I made a couple of mistakes, and that could have cost me the win. Chad was riding good, but I felt that I had what it takes. You know, he was better than me, and I don't have a problem admitting that. I need to work and get to feeling, you know, 100% comfortable with the bike and knowing exactly the limits and knowing where I can put it and what I can do and what I can't do. And with the new setup, I don't feel like I'm there yet, but no excuses. I didn't have nothing for him. I was a second-place guy tonight.
A very humble Ricky Carmichael. He's going to finish 3rd overall as you see the final results for the weekend. David Vuillemin, though, he's got to be happy looking forward to the 2004 season. He finishes in 2nd.
Well, David Vuillemin, a win on the first night, put all the pressure on you. Were you feeling it going out tonight? You finished 2nd, it's not bad, but were you feeling more pressure because you won that first night?
No, not too much. You know, it seems like I did not ride as aggressive as I did yesterday, you know, and I had a tough time in the whoops. And, you know, Chad and Ricky are the best guys in the one Supercross, so it was kind of tough. I had a great night yesterday, and today they were a little better, you know. I thought my speed was there for 10 laps, and after they kind of took off, and I just stayed 3rd place. And, you know, it's just the beginning of my preparation for 04, and I'm going to try my best to be ready for the first round.
Well, Kelly Smith wins the 125s. Chad Reed wins the 250. Your thoughts, Davey?
Very impressed by Chad Reed and Kelly Smith. I can't wait to see what happens. By the way, this is the first time a Yamaha has won this race since Jeff Emig did it back in 1999. They go 1-2, and they go 1-2 in the 125 class. Big Blue is ready for 2004.
Big Blue came out on top this week. Chad Reed, Kelly Smith, congratulations. For Cameron Steele and Davey Coombs, I'm Robbie Floyd. Thanks for joining us.